Good evening, friends. Thank you for coming. I am so happy. I must thank God that I'm 85 years old and still looking after you. Now, many have actually asked me why at my age I should be around, being involved in politics. Actually, my answer is very simple. I care for Singapore, and that is the most important. Because if you see something is not proper, don't just walk away. We must correct it. And that's my philosophy. If something is wrong, we must correct it. Now, you have heard that the speakers, they are the candidates for the coming general election. They will be fielded in Choa Chu Kang, Jurong West, and the other single constituencies. Altogether, we'll have about 14, am I right? 14, 13, getting older. Okay, and I'm sure you have heard their speeches, but I just like to just say a few words on these few gentlemen who have been presented to you early. But before that, I think let me tell you that Choa Chu Kang is actually part of my hometown. I started a little clinic in an isolated place called Ama King. It's a very small village. People are poor. They keep chicken, grow vegetables. And when the rain comes, some of the produce are all destroyed. But I enjoyed practicing there. But we were all resettled. And where were we resettled? In Choa Chu Kang. So I have met many of my old patients, my friends from our village in Choa Chu Kang, in Teck Whye, and now in Jurong West. So I think if the PAP think that putting us in Jurong West is going to disadvantage PSP, I think they are wrong. We will give them a tough fight. Now, you have already heard all of them speaking, so I don't want to spend too much time on all these people, so I'm sure you know. But touching from what Hazel said about competency, honesty, transparency, accountability, I think this is where I fear why I left the PAP. Because I always insist that there must be accountability, there must be transparency for things to work well. And when we see it when they are not doing that, it will be a shame if we just walk away. We must take it head on and tell them that, no, this is not the right way to govern Singapore. But having said that, when traced together, remember the COVID incident? The PAP actually asked us to help out in this trace together. And our friend here. We have the expertise. We could not have given to them. But for Singapore's sake, we break down political barriers and think of a Singaporean. That is why I say, go, Harish, help the government. We must not be selfish, because at the end of the day, the country matters. And if we have important measures that we should share for the interests of this country. You see, I like to walk around. At my age, I think all of you got to walk around. But sometimes don't walk too much, those who are in my age, because your knees will give way. And that's a medical advice, okay? Free of charge. Now, when I hear people asking me, Doc, why don't you give us some fish? Why don't you give us some eggs? I said, what they're saying? They say, hey, but that side, they're giving all these people eggs, fish. I said, no. We are a first world country. My xia sui to dio. We say xia sui. Nang quốc gia to be number one. Number one, not number two. Okay? So, also I tell them, no, I have no fish to give you. I got no eggs to give you. But I give you a voice. And the voice are these people. And they will speak up for you. They will tell you where the government is wrong. They will be fearless. And I will make sure they carry on their duty as good MPs in the future. You have watched Manwai. You have watched Hazel. Were they just sitting MPs? No. I watched them in Parliament in the early days. I feel sorry for them. They were hit so many times. But these parliamentary wounds, I told them, don't be afraid, because you will grow and you will learn how to fight back. And here, I'm very proud of them. But I don't know whether the government really hear you all or not. But I hear you. When you tell me your price of coffee, a cup of coffee, Nala, how much more? So much more. And also when you go marketing our housewives, they tell me $30, I can't buy much. Now these are genuine problems. So I think we hear you, but they didn't hear you. And the evidence is so clear. Look at the budget. Look at the budget. We had a surplus of $6.4 billion. Now that is significant. They increased the GST from 7% to 9%. And yet they got a $6.4 billion surplus. That means they are not listening to you. Because if they had listened to you, it would at least stay at 7%. So they did not listen to you. But you must ask yourself why they didn't listen to you. I think you must look at our whole political structure now. Because the people who's manning the political systems are the same kind of people. My time, the people who entered Parliament are made up of people, ordinary people, tricycle riders, taxi drivers, doctors like me, trade unionists. We were all there. So there was a big group of people with different ideas. But now, be careful. They are picking men and women from the civil service, from the army. This is dangerous. In medical terms, I call it inbreeding. And when there's inbreeding, let me tell you, my friends, when there's inbreeding, there's no change of idea because everyone is scared. They're frightened. The economic system is closed. So there's no one would tell their leaders that they were wrong. During my time, when they promoted the nominated members of parliament, I stood up and said, no, every member of the House must get elected, must gain the confidence of all of you to get a place in the House. So I voted against the NMP. It wasn't easy. Of course, they got angry, but you must stick to your principles. And the principle is very simple in this one. If you don't ask the people, you don't just come in, you don't just walk in, you gain a mandate from the people before you can be a member of parliament. So what I'm telling you, our system is beginning to change. When I became a member of parliament, actually Lee Kuan Yew asked me, I told him honestly, I wasn't enamored with the PAP. He was shocked. But, you see, he's a great man. He said, I don't want yes men. I want people who will tell me off. People with no hidden agenda. And he recognized that we don't have hidden agenda, but we always speak for the people. So this is what my fear. What is our system getting into? If we don't put a stop to it, we will have a whole parliament of ex-civil servants who implement the policies and now, who carve out the policy and now implementing the policy. How do you expect to change? So you must really consider to bring in people, different kinds of people into parliament, to get that diversity of views, that diversity of opinion. Then we can have a good debate, and out of a good debate, good outcomes will come. Without good debate, I tell you, no. My time again, I have to tell you, when they had conceived this educational change, I stood up and said, this education system then would have stratified our society. The rich be there, the poor will be here. But we will never be a nation when we are so stratified in so many layers. So, what I'm still here, standing before you, I want to convince you, you must make that change. Do you know how hard for me, how difficult for me to convince young men and women to come forward and take a stand? They were so afraid. But they were not afraid. They chose to come with me. The 9 old chaps who come and set up my party, they were men of courage. So let me tell you, Singaporeans and people of Choa Chu Kang, this is our country. Help me make this change. So on 3rd of May, think carefully. You must get more opposition. It's not just PSP. People from the Workers' Party, SDP, they're all our friends. You see, 5 years ago, I sent teams to all over the island. I wanted footprints, but we made a lot of mistakes. So I'm telling you, don't worry, make mistakes. But this round, we consolidated our position. Why we consolidate our position is because I want to make sure young men and women like them must go into Parliament to make the change. We are more organized now. Trust us. But we need help. We are not perfect. And we are not ashamed to tell you that we need help. So you must help me. Actually, not only help me, you're helping the country to make this change come on May the 3rd. So we have come back now. We have decided that we will not abandon West Coast and all the places we fought, except certain places we couldn't afford to continue to fight. Why? Because it's a responsibility. We don't want to run away from West Coast, where we had very marginally quite close to winning. So we are back, and we are more prepared to serve. And we have to bring the change. Remember, my friends, remember, the PAP has no monopoly of power. You all must come forward and be counted that this change must happen this coming May, 3rd of May. Thank you very much.